Realised I hadn't yet done a video of the bed, or can do both beds actually, front and rear, so this is just to show you how the Murphy bed at the back works. So first thing is to unlatch the main part of the bed base that folds across. Let me show you. It's just a little spring loaded clip that clips into a metal ring on the van side wall there, so you just release that. It comes down, sits snug all the way across the van, and then on this side we've got all the cushions for this, which is a large single stashed fitting snugly, which is nice. Two centre ones, and then a fourth which echoes the arrangement with the pillar at the back of the van on either side and fits in snugly. So that's the big single bed made at the back of the van, which is just about big enough for me. There's a chance if I sleep with my head that way that I might have to have my legs out over onto the counter when I want to stretch, but generally that's good enough for me for the odd night away on my own. And then if you want the double bed out, first thing you need to do is remove the front bed base and the big cushions for the front section of the bed from the cubby, one of which is a bit of a tight fit, admittedly. That's basically the whole of that space taken up by cushions. And then, same thing, base down, cushions out, and then the front section goes across here, fills the gap there and sits against the beam in front of the wardrobe, and folds out and sits on the beam in front of the shower room. And then these just go one in there, and one in there. And there you go, one queen size double bed. To film the front bed because of the lack of space, but I will put it out anyway. First thing to do is to disconnect the LEDs. I learnt that. Comes out the way. Is a tight thing, which isn't a bad idea, I suppose, but and then these two go on here like this. There we go. A little bit of extra. Got an outer cab screen, but this is a little bit of extra comfort if you're in the single bed at the front. Nice. It's dark, it's December, so dark very early, but here I am working away in the garage after work one evening, and got my waste and fresh water tanks to install. So I've just attached the plumbing and figuring out how everything is going together under the van. But one of the jobs I've got to do now is to install the water sensors. And I've got a
a kit from CBE because my display, my monitor is obviously CBE based. So I've got a plug for a level sensor here for the freshwater tank, and then I've got blade terminals or spade terminals for the wastewater sensors. Now the wastewater sensors are actually just 2 bolts that you screw through a rubber grommet with a spade connector threaded on the bolt, and when the bolt's inside it will squeeze this and make a watertight connection, or at least that's the theory. So I'm actually just going to put, this is the top, I'm just going to put 2 holes very close to each other, and it's when contact is made across the 2 bolts that the alarm will flash. So that's the plan. The freshwater level sensor is here, and that just needs to be mounted in the top. That's the top of the freshwater tank. See if I get around to doing that today. There's 2 bolts are through the grommets, and I'm just going to tighten them up so they pinch and create a watertight seal. Fresh tank. This has obviously got to be mounted on the inside because it receives, it's a threaded nylon nut that receives the sensor. But I haven't got an access hatch in this. I do actually have an access hatch that I could fit. But what I'm going to try and do is cut the hole for the sensor to fit into, and then cut a slit across to feed this through into the inside of the tank and glue it from the inside and leave it overnight, and then hopefully I can just drop the sensor in and tighten it into the screws of the nylon washer nut. So that's plan A. If it fails and this falls into the tank, then I'll just have to cut a hole big enough to fit the this, which obviously I then have to seal, and there's another hole in the tank. So I'm going to try this method first. Let's see how it goes. Well, that didn't work. Couldn't quite figure out how I was going to pass the nylon nut through and hold it there. So I've gone for plan B. Cut a bigger hole. I'm just going to seal in the frame for the access hatch. It's starting to look more like a floor standing loudspeaker, isn't it? But that's the second hole, so I can now reach in and hold the nylon nut when I fit the level sensor. Okay, that's it really. Fit it and run the cables and start plumbing in the pipes. Job done. So I'm just about to tuck my custom built sub base enclosure into the seat base. I've got the amp installed already, mounted to the back wall of the seat base, and it fits in perfectly behind the subwoofer, which is great. The sub just gets bolted through from the top, and the seat will hopefully sit on top. I'm going to do a test fit in a minute, but I thought I'd just let you enjoy some LTJ Bookham with me. So today's job, finished fitting the kitchen tap, which I only just dropped in the hole last night. There's the tails ready for the John Guest fittings, and then using a template that I've got inside, cut a hole worktop for the gas hob, which is going to sit snugly on the end there, and while the worktop's up, fit the sink to the underside of the counter and run a different LED strip. I'm not going to use this one. I've upgraded to a slightly longer, fancier one. It's not going to come up the middle here, it's going to go all the way around both ways, and it's cute because it's multicolour. You can change the colour at the flick of a button. Just need to figure out where to plug it in. Probably going to use this and possibly mount it in there. Just need to think that through a bit more. I'm just preempting people asking me how I did the under counter lighting, and actually I'm taking this one off because it's not the right one. This screwdriver is going to be too big, but you can see hopefully that I've just stapled on one of the car, it's not detailing, what's it called, like customisations, one of these strips all the way around the countertop, and it's going to go along to the back under the flap as well and do the whole of the outside of the work surface. Just 12 volt. It's got enough of a lip to allow you to staple it into the surface. The staples didn't go all the way in mostly, so quite a lot of them are flattened by hammer blows, but it really is that simple. It's just a nice evening lighting effect, I think. That was the plan. So there you go. Well, it's an ongoing joke this time of year. It's dark again. I mean, it's January, but I did start this when it was daylight, and it's just about finished. Yeah, the sink is still in from underneath, but the tap is in and doing what it should do, I hope. I haven't primed the system yet, obviously, but yeah, wanting all its fanciness. And the hob's in. There's a bit more of a fettle. Despite the template we give you, it's never as easy as it sounds. The new lights are in and they're doing their thing. That looks quite good now. Yeah, knackered though. Just need to refit the drawers, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll do the wastewater pipe work under the van and hook up the water tanks. Good day. So it's been a while since I've done an update, and I've been cracking on. As I said, I was never going to film the whole thing, but I do have a few things to catch you up on, so I thought I'd show you around. Doesn't look from this view an awful lot like much has changed, but let me get into it. Start at the back. Nearly got the fresh water plumbed in. Just need to plumb the back of this into the system. It's the outdoor shower for the back of the van. Not much else to show you in the first cupboard. Second cupboard, we are, well, this is a beta. Don't think it's good enough, so I'm going to probably cut that out and put a grill over the top, but I wanted to get some airflow in there for the batteries, which are stored behind. Above it now is the bin drawer, and this was a labour of love, and I'm not completely satisfied with it because actually it's quite hard to get in to lift the lid on the bins. Lovely big bins though, with handles, so you can take them out and dump them. It's slightly contentious in that the battery and electrics cupboard is behind there, and of course incomplete at the moment, so it's a bit of a faff to get to. You can obviously just lift the bins out of the drawer if you want quick access, but you're usually going to have to unclip the drawer runner and take the whole of the bin drawer out to work on the electrics, which is fine. It's doable. What else has happened? Next door we've got a nearly complete shower. I've just dropped the plug in down there because I finished running the wastewater pipes under the van. I'm waiting for the fresh water to be ready to test before I seal that up, because there's a right angle John Guest push fitting under that floor there. So I need to test it before I seal it. The shower obviously hasn't yet been tested, but that is now fitted and looks great, I think, and I really like this wall. Need to wait till the water's commissioned before I then fit the cladding to two walls. And I think I found a shower door that I'm going to buy. Just going to strike them a deal tomorrow to see if they want to get rid of the one that's been hanging around in their January sale offers. Seem to be having some trouble with the heater. I still haven't tested it for water, but it's smoky and doesn't get particularly hot, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I've done some fettling to the side panel here because I decided, as well as putting a little cupboard in to make the most of any extra space we've got, that I was also going to put in a filler point for the jerry can for the diesel for the heater. I'm just waiting on a level gauge there, which will be on a temporary, momentary switch to check the levels. So the panel's looking quite fun, and once the gauge is in, obviously it's all running off that diesel, it's good to go. But just need to sort the diesel heater out really. Fridge is in, not wired up yet, but you've probably seen these before. They're a lovely bit of kit that opens either that way from the outside to grab yourself a cold beer when you're sitting outside, or from that way when you're inside cooking dinner. So, I need to paint that. Yeah, it was a tight fit, but it was designed to be, and it's snug and flush, so really good. Very clever bit of design, that. Yeah, so the kitchen will be finished after the fridge is wired up and the water's tested. Oh, well, of course I haven't done the gas. Gas is plumbed in behind the hob, but not to the cooker, because the cooker's still not here. And I'll probably put in an outdoor gas connection for an outdoor barbecue. I think that's it really. Yeah, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but it's fun while doing it, and spring is around the corner, so hopefully we'll be off in the van.
snug. I like snug. Snug is a good word. Snug means less sealant to apply, fill gaps. Very snug. Lovely. It's got to fit the frame, and then I can put the cassette back in and check that it's all working as it should. Bit of painting to do on the inside still. Woohoo!